Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I hate it, clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the car, had to break it safe. I've been writing my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Rich and no bicycle, love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find a balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. I've been like we out of bounds, ain't no way that it think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like down, call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
Yes, 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 yes. That video came out last year, and it still excites me. What's going on, guys? This is Jerome Jones, your humble host, and I'm happy to be here today. It's been a while. I mean, you get a better looking face today aside of Avery, so enjoy it. But I'm excited to be here, man, and obviously I haven't been here in a while, as you could probably tell from how we just started this intro. But it's all good, man. Technical difficulties. Things happen. But I'm here with my man, Mr. Juan and only Juan Pablo Camargo. I think I said it right. I hope I said it right. How you doing, man?
You forgot one, but let's slide this time. I'm doing good, man. I'm still riding the high from Thursday. For people who don't know, I live in Detroit. I can literally say like about 3 blocks away from Ford Field. And it is an electric atmosphere here in the Motor City, to say the very least. And I am being a Jets fan myself. It is nice to see some hype being built up around an underdog for a city that more than deserves it after so many years of disappointment.
Yeah, man. We were talking about it a little bit off camera, but like, you live in Detroit right now. I'm in Georgia right now. So like, I know after that game, I know it was an incredible feel. I've been in Georgia the last 2 years. Ever since I've been down here, Georgia been winning. So I understand the atmosphere, especially in a different.
Now, yeah, definitely a different environment here. And for Jerome and I living in where we are, we both not even in our home teams. Like, he's an Eagles fan, he's from Philly. I'm a Jets fan. He from Jersey, but we're all out just trying to make our grind to it and doing it all for the sake of the sport of football. And that's the main thing that we're going to be talking about here today, ladies and gentlemen, because we're diving into it. First thing that we're going to be talking about is, of course, the kid. Oh, hey, sorry.
Yeah, I'm back. My internet is acting crazy, but yeah, go ahead.
Now, I was kind of like, rolling out with it. The first thing we're going to be talking about today is, of course, football is back, baby, and it came back in a glorious fashion. Oh man, it came back definitely. We had the Lions taking on the Super Bowl champion, the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs in their home stadium in what is regarded as the loudest stadium. I don't know how to pronounce it. GEHA Stadium. I'm just forever in my head. It will be Arrowhead.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I forgot they changed it. It's gross. It's gross thing. Is just trying to say it. But before we continue, I gotta introduce the man, the guy, the OG, the one that is a resident Eagles fan, Mr. Coach Brad. What's going on, Coach?
The resident what now? You know what? It's game day today, so I ain't even gonna do it. I got too much on my mind, worried about the nonsense today.
The nonsense.
You want one of these, bro? I can send you one from Georgia.
You want
never.
You want
never. You see this? I'd rather rock my squad all day. My Warriors. What are you talking about here?
I don't see no squad because the steering wheel's blocking your squad. So all I see is like the spirit of an Eagles fan around here.
That can't
Nah,
be Eagles.
nah, it's BL Warriors today, baby. That's the squad today. BL Warriors.
All right.
No,
Go
congratulations
get
to
the
you and
dub.
your team, man. Y'all, what are y'all 3-0 right now? 2-0?
2-1.
Nah, they won it. They won and one this year. Won and
Oh,
one
yeah.
this year.
Okay.
Game days today,
It's,
and our
just,
first division game is today. So we ready.
it's about to be
Let's
two.
get
It's
it.
about to be 2-1, Coach. Believe it, and it will happen.
Oh yeah, it's
Let's
gonna
get
be a
them
fight though
dubs.
today.
Hey, like Jalen said, let's eat them dubs.
Oh god,
You mean Jameis?
get up,
Yeah, James.
get them dubs.
All right, man.
Love it.
Let's get to this Lions game because man, I don't think I've seen this coming. Even with some of the departures of Kelsey being out, Chris Jones holding out for his contract situation right now. I wanna start with you. Again, you've been in the area, you got the feel of how it was for the Lions to get a win against a Super Bowl, winning team from last year. What is your feel on the overall aspects of this game, and what was your take of like some of what went through the game? I know you say you intensely watched this game detail to detail. I want to know what's your feelings on this entire game.
I would like first to say that to Mike Tirico, who did a fantastic job broadcasting the game on NBC alongside Chris Collinsworth, his comments regarding there being an asterisk on this game afterwards because Travis Kelce and Chris Jones were out, taken out of context. As a fellow Syracuse Orangeman myself, I stand by what Mike Tirico said in regards to everything else that he said about the Lions. That quote was literally blown out of proportion in the sense of what it is. So there is no asterisk on this win. This is a stamp on your hand moment for the Detroit Lions as they make their way through this season. I think the highlight, and we can talk about so much about what this game brought in, whether it's Patrick Mahomes playing with receivers who apparently have butter on their hands because they can't make catches. We can talk about.
We're gonna talk about that.
We can talk about Chris Jones being in the stands, watching his team play. What?
Oh,
I've never seen that before in my life.
Oh,
But the thing I'm gonna talk about is
oh,
the contribution of rookies for the Lions in this game, specifically 3 of them. The first one, Jahmyr Gibbs. Outstandingly dynamic running back. He only had 7 touches in this game, but he made it so worthwhile. 42 yards, 6 yards per carry. My only regret is that he didn't score on that touchdown in the first in the first quarter because I don't know. Maybe they hired the guy that did the turf for the Super Bowl because he slipped on the turf, man. And Kansas City really knows how to find these guys. But Jahmyr absolutely astounding. I can see why they took him 12th overall. When they drafted him, I was a little confused on why. Then they traded Swift, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing a little bit more sense.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Just to cut you in real quick. Being here in Georgia the last 2.5 years now, I heard about Jahmyr Gibbs when he was at Georgia Tech, and I seen literally I just hearing rumbles about this Georgia Tech kid, blah blah blah, and I literally watched one game of him and instantly fell in love. When they told me that he was gonna transfer to Alabama, I was like, I know that he's going from Georgia Tech to Alabama and he's only gonna be there for 1 year. That's exactly what he did, and he's doing it with the Lions. So I personally just somebody that be around that college football atmosphere and being to watch him firsthand, I was like, pretty nice. So I expect him to get a lot more touches very, very soon. I just wanted to add that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He better because he's on my office fantasy team. But it's not just him too. Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end that they drafted, has emerged into TE1 in that offense, and he showed why. He only had 5 catches on the game for 39 yards, but they were good catches. They were good rumble tough catches. All right, the guy has great hands. He needs to work a little bit more on his mobility and his ability to find and open space more as a tight end, but he'll get there. As a rookie, he will definitely get there. He definitely has the athleticism. He definitely has the intelligence to be able to find space in coverage in order to get open for Jared Goff. And then finally, shout out to two of the rookie starting defensive players in this game, in Jack Campbell, the linebacker out of Iowa, and Brian Branch, the rookie safety. Phenomenal. Campbell with such an athletic dive to deflect that pass to Kadarius Toney. And he's all over the field. As a run stuffer, he was absolutely brilliant. He only had 2 tackles, but it was now that's I'm looking at the wrong one. No, yeah, he only had 2 tackles, but he's still absolutely amazing in coverage. That pass deflection was probably the highlight of his night. And then Brian Branch with that pick 6 off of, funny enough, again, Kadarius Toney not being able to catch a ball.
We'll talk about that.
It's like the TLDR of it. This is a team full of good veteran fundamentals, but a lot of raw dynamic rookie talent across multiple skill groups. And I can't wait to see where it goes going forward.
No, 100%. Darren, tell me what's your outlook and overall thoughts of the game?
I had a kid yesterday. Oh, I actually had a kid Thursday morning. Asked me, "Hey, you ready for the game?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Oh yeah, Chiefs about to get their dub." No, they're not. No, they're not. I knew it. You can see it from last year. The way the Lions were playing, the way that Dan Campbell got them guys together, you can see the changes and the evolution of how that offense is run, how that defense is run. And they're just a hard-nosed football team. You can see the fact that the matter is they played majority of the game in an I form. Move the tight end a little bit, move a receiver here. But they was efficient when running the ball, whether it's David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs. And they took what the Chiefs gave them. The play action work, especially that play action to Josh Reynolds on the 3rd down. If he was a little faster, he would have scored on that.
Yeah,
that should have been a touchdown. And if you went and watched the post game, he had a Amon-Ra St. Brown over the middle just as open.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like what the Lions did. I think they're going to be a really, really good team this year. I'm definitely going to see a playoff run from them as well. But how deep is the real question? But lastly, before I get off on it, he forgot to mention one important rookie. I didn't hear about Sam Laporta and his 5 catches for 39 yards.
I did talk
He
about
is becoming that safety blanket.
Coach, I did talk about Sam Laporta.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say he's truly about to become that safety blanket for
I
him.
will not ignore Iowa tight ends, especially ones that emerge as a starter in the NFL and beat out 4 other tight ends on that roster. I was there in training camp.
Chris, what's up, Chris? We're gonna talk about that in a second. We're gonna talk about who won it or who actually lost it. But
we haven't even talked about the Chiefs yet. We're just mostly hyping up the Lions right now because that's the point, man. This is a Lions win, not a Chiefs loss. I'm just gonna jump into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, Chiefs are gonna be fine. All these pundits talking about the end of the dynasty, the end of this, the end of that. The Chiefs will be fine. Kadarius Toney did not practice for most of training camp because of an injury. He's back. He's a little rusty trying to make catches out there. And, yeah, I hate that he kind of blamed the gloves at the end of the game. Dude, you had a bad game. Own up to it. Move the heck on.
He's that type of guy. Go ahead.
And they got to get Sky more involved in the offense, as well as Richie James and Justin Ross, man. Like, these are guys that need touches as wide receivers. If your main pass catcher is your tight end and the tight end is not even in the game, they're not opening enough opportunities for your wide receivers around you. There has to be more chemistry between Patrick Mahomes and every other receiving group out there. And speaking of Mahomes, he still looked fantastic. Right? Patrick Mahomes will never be the reason that the Chiefs lose a game. He will never be the reason, ever. Because he's just that good. He is that talented. He is that smart, and he is that determined to get a win. As for Matt Nagy, I'm kind of starting to see that maybe Eric Bieniemy was like a major component of this, more so than we thought. And I just don't. I kind of don't. I kind of see a more conservative mindset with Matt Nagy going forward. I hope he opens up the passing game much more than it already has been. And also, I just want to give a quick call out to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There was a photo of him running the ball, and there was a huge gap down the space between the center and the guard that was wide open, but he didn't take it. He didn't take it.
Right into the guy. He ran right into the guy. I was like,
Where's
no.
the vision? Where's the vision, CEE? Where is it? And I don't want to call out the guy too much, but like, come on. You're a first round pick.
Yeah. I'm honestly on the bandwagon. They've lost faith in him. I think Isaiah Pacheco just needs to be the starter, point blank, period, and get majority of the touches. Between him and McKinnon, that's their 1-2 punch. Isaiah just going to be the runner, and McKinnon is going to be that change of pace guy. That's really what it needs to be right now. But in terms of the Chiefs' loss, they lost. It's not the line. No, they lost. They lost that game because they could not stop on running the ball. And when they finally did, they couldn't capitalize on it because as a team, Patrick Mahomes was the team yesterday. On Thursday. Patrick Mahomes was that team. The receivers did not help like that. MVS had an okay game. Rashee Rice had a first career touchdown, which is nice. But when you have someone that you traded for last year drop so many passes, and it's not even just him dropping the passes, that's an issue. Patrick Mahomes put that ball on hands multiple times in the game and just came up with drops. And another thing is, I didn't see enough of Justin Ross out there. He's a 6'4", 205-pound animal. At his height at Clemson, he was a first-round surefire pick. But you're telling me now he's not even getting that many touches? He's not being used like that, especially when you don't have your big body tight end. You don't have your big body tight end, but you don't put in another big body guy to replace that. We know Blake Bell and who's the other tight end, I believe. For the Chiefs. Yeah. Neither one of those guys are what healthy is. They can block, they can do things here and there, but they needed that firepower, and they just didn't have it that game.
My other gripe about the wide receivers is that you had a young wide receiver and Rashee Rice was actually starting to cook in that game, and you completely took him out the game because you wanted to have a rotation. Like, I'm always the biggest believer of hot hand stays in. Hot hand stays in. If you're hot, you stay in. And I don't care what draft position you were. I don't care how much we did to trade you. If you're hot, you're staying in. And the hot hand did not stay in. And Rashee Rice was going off in the beginning of the game, and it just didn't keep him in. So I personally think that was an issue on coaching. I will say I think it's more of a Chiefs loss than a Lions win. Not to discredit anything that the Lions did. The Lions did an incredible job, but there were so many miscues with the Chiefs offense. Play calling, decision making. I mean, the 4th and 25. That was insane.
He almost
Even
got it.
That's the part too. He almost actually got it. That's crazy.
That's why I think Patrick Mahomes ain't the reason.
You're taking a huge risk when you already having issues with your wide receivers, and then going out there and you trusting your quarterback, yes, but your receivers already have. So why do that? And it was bad field positioning. If it was closer to the 50, I can understand you doing that, but it was more toward the 30. So you giving the Lions. Go ahead.
You can't blame bad field positioning for that because the Lions went on a fake punt from inside their own 20.
Yeah.
And that is all a risk at that point. The fact of the matter is that
that was on the second series.
It was a choke on the part of the wide receiver. You could have, if it touches your hands, you could have made the catch.
100%.
Rules. That is the rules. And that is the rules of football. And
before you go, I'm gonna let you cook, but I'm gonna slide on to the next topic because I think it's relating to what you're about to say. I want to ask: is it KT's fault that they lost this game? And I'm gonna pull. Wait before you answer. Hold on. I'm gonna let Juan carry it right after this, but I want to show the viewers this if they have not seen this. This interception photo. This is the interception that KT had the ball in his hands. It was right there. That was a pick six. If I show you this and I said, hey, guys, this is going to be a pick six, I believe 99% of you guys would not thought that. So Juan, I'm gonna let you finish what you was gonna say, but is it his fault? Finish what you're gonna say and then answer that question.
I'll only say this: it's one sentence. I'm just waiting for Brittany Mahomes to tweet out, "My husband can't throw the ball and catch it as well."
I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. To be honest, the game. I mean, unless I missed it already, but I'm surprised it didn't come out already. That it was bad. Even Sky Moore was looking terrible. It wasn't just mainly his fault. I mean, he had some clutch key throws to him during the game, and he just couldn't make any of them, not a single one. He had one catch the entire game. Juan, do you think it's his fault?
I
I
can't.
mean, it was a difference. It was a difference because it was a 1 point loss. So
I can't say that it was his fault per se. I'm looking at like the box score breakdown here. I mean, Jared McKinnon, 1 catch of 10 yards. He's a dynamic receiving back. Why are more targets going to him? Sky Moore, 0 catches, albeit on 3 targets. Either they were overthrown or he dropped it. I gotta go back to the tape to watch it. Kadarius Toney, 5 targets, only 1 catch for 1 yard. That is a big disappointment on the part of a guy that has been talking so much trash during the offseason. And I'm back to Coach's point. Get Justin Ross more involved. 1 target, and he made the 1 catch for 6 yards. You could have built off that. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2 targets, 2 catches for 48 yards. No receiver here went over 50 that night. And I feel like it's because they tried to spread the ball around too much. I never thought that was something you can do, but apparently there is. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 receivers with at least 1 target. My guy, just focus on the group that you can. Find out who's balling, who's finding the holes in coverage, and focus on that. Don't be smart.
I mean, you took it exactly what I was saying, man. Like, hey, you got guys that was starting to cook. You had a receiver rights. You had Scanling. You had what's his name? You kept going to Scott Moore and Katoni, like y'all wanted to like force it to them, but they was not working out. I mean,
I don't blame this on Kadarius Toney. He had a gaffe, sure, but I blame this more on Matt Nagy.
What's your take, Darren?
So I'm gonna put about 40% of this on Kadarius Toney, another 50% on the wide receiver room. But I'm only putting 10 on Matt Nagy. And I'm putting 10 on Matt Nagy for this reason and this reason alone. When the plays were called, Patrick Mahomes still put that ball on.
You're right. It was there
every single time. So I'm not saying this to play calling. Yes, there might have been 1 or 2 questionable ones by going forward on like 4th and 25. Mm-hmm. But if you looked at it on that 4th and 20, Sky Moore caught it. It was a penalty that brought it back, which made it 4th and 25. So I can't be super mad at the play calling when the play calling was working. The receivers were dropping the ball. The receivers not catching it. There was too much of a rotation, and I'm not blaming that on Maggie. That's more of a receivers coach.
I was going to say that, though, too. Like, although you're right, the play calling was great, but part of coaching is also understanding the situation at hand, too. And they had the receivers to go out there and catch it, and it wasn't working. So, like, you had guys that were working and guys that wasn't working, and you kept choosing to game plan for the guys that wasn't working, and we already said it. There was rotating receivers at that point, so why not keep the hot hand in the game? That's just my personal opinion.
So I'm also going to bring this now back to the receivers room, because as the receivers room, I'm not just talking about the players. I'm talking about the coaches as well. Those receiver coaches have to understand, hey, your guys is not working. You need to have a solid rotation. Tell Nagy, hey, this is who needs to be in. Not him, not this rotation. These guys need to be in because these are the guys that's producing right now. We have to go with the hot hand. So, again, I'm going to put Nagy on some blame. But it's a team. And as a receivers coach, you have to see that. And as receivers, you have to take responsibility and pride that you're going to catch that ball. That is your job. This is not a college where you're just playing because you want to go to the next level, you want to play and do stuff like that. No. You're getting paid millions of dollars, thousands of dollars to catch a pass. You better catch that pass.
100%. All right, well, we're going to get to our next topic, man. We could be talking about the entire day. I think and obviously we're excited because it's the first game of the season. It was an upset, so there's a lot that we could definitely be talking about with it. But let's kind of move on from here because I want to see what some other things we talk about. There's a lot going on this weekend. It's week 1, maybe. I'm excited, but we're gonna do crazy right now because it is week 1, and this is the best time to make some outlandish takes. Let's just say it. So let's do something crazy. Let's have some fun real quick. Let's get to the way too early MVP, Coach of the Years, and all the other awards that we can be talking about today. So early MVP. Let's get to Darren, man. Who is your way too early MVP at this point?
All right, I'm gonna say it, Jared Goff.
Oh, I
I'm
thought you
gonna
were gonna
say
say
it,
Lamar
Jared
Jackson. I
Goff.
was gonna say God.
Oh
Okay,
no,
go
no, no,
ahead.
no, no.
Thank
I'm see again. I love Lamar, but he's gonna have to adapt to the new offense, and a couple things gonna have to happen for him to really get in that groove for me. But
you.
Jared Goff is in the second season underneath Dan Campbell. The way that they are operating that offense, I'm sorry, third season, but the way they're operating that offense, the way that he has that relationship with Amon-Ra St. Brown, you got James Williams coming back shortly in about 6 to 7 games, I believe. He didn't have a full year suspension. So I like the weapons that they have. I like that he is focused on not turning the ball over. And he's still producing and taking what the defense gives him. He can still give you a wild play every once in a while with a good throw. I really think that Jared Goff, if they win 11 or 12 games as the Lions, that might can secure him the MVP slot.
I don't know because
Okay.
not a lot. Like I point out to what Jerome's. I think it was you coach or Jerome pointing out that Amon-Ra St. Brown was open on the seam route down the middle, and Goff didn't take it because he was too focused on the dig route underneath. You could have taken that deep seam route down the middle by Amon-Ra, and it would have been a guaranteed touchdown because there was no one else covering him because it was man coverage and he had George Karlaftis assigned to him in coverage. So like MVPs don't miss those kind of open routes, man. In my opinion, and I'm gonna be a homer about this. Last week 2 weeks ago we talked about the other awards. I had Justin Fields as the offensive player of the year, Micah Parsons as my defensive player of the year, Bijan Robinson as my rookie of the year, and Jalen Carter as the defensive rookie of the year. So for my MVP, I'm going with the veteran gun, going with a man who's looking to prove himself despite already building up the same hardware over the last couple years.
No.
4-time MVP for the quarterback of the New York Jets. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers to win his 5th MVP this year. That's right. I am delusional.
I expected better.
You can't. I'm not
Did
wearing
you
it
say
right
it?
now.
I expected better.
I
he knows
expected
people
better.
do
No, okay, listen to this. I bought an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I own an Aaron Rodgers New York Jets jersey. Now I have him as a Packer and I have him as a Jet. And I have never been this excited for a quarterback in a long time, gentlemen, to the point where I feel like with this offense that's built around him, Garrett Wilson as your wide receiver 1, 2 top-tier running backs in Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall. Not to mention you have speedsters in McCole Hardman that you stole from the Chiefs, so that maybe that's why they're in a wide receiver depletion, as well as a great chemistry building receiving group alongside Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard. The offensive line will get better throughout the season. It's going to be a rough start, but with Aaron Rodgers at the helm, they're going to be fine. Along with a top 5 defense in this league, this is the recipe for an MVP-style season, and I'm seeing it coming, man. Aaron Rodgers for MVP. I'm calling it.
Hey, Jerome, do you know everything that he's been talking, right? The whole time I'm listening to it, all I can hear in my head is Real Delulu yelling out, my man. That's all I hear right now from Juwan. Like, I can't.
I apologize, Coach. I apologize because it's funny. Because I expect the coach to say that, and then Juan does it, the homer pick. All right.
The craziness.
I'm gonna put my bit in here, and I'm not gonna be the homer. I would love Jalen Hurts to get it, but also know that there's not a long history of MVP winners that won the Super Bowl. So, with that being said,
it was right here though.
Patrick Mahomes did it last year.
He did, but it was like once in the first time in like 30 years, something like that. But anyway,
Last 20,
so
yep.
yeah, it had to take Patrick Mahomes to do something like that. So anyway, I rather have the Lombardi than the MVP. But anyway, let me not get ahead of myself on that part. But anyway, I'm gonna go because I hate this award because it's so quarterback heavy, and we all selected quarterbacks for it. I do hate it for that. But so I'm not gonna go off of that because we just know it's gonna be a quarterback. But I am gonna say this. I'm gonna go a little bit different, and I've been high on this guy since he got drafted, and the man just got paid very handsomely, and I think that he's going to not only he got three really good receivers. Defense is I feel like is going to turn around.
Okay.
They've been kind of shaky the last couple of years. So I'm going to go
Right.
Chris. I love Chris for saying this. He said exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. We good
Exactly what I
then.
was
We
going to
good
say.
then. We
I
good
love
then.
it. I love it.
Who?
So
We good
yes,
then.
Herbo just got paid this offseason. And I think he's gonna get the MVP, man.
You were talking
I
about
just
getting
feel
paid. I
like
thought you were thinking
this
Joe
is
Burrow.
here.
I'm
It's
just like,
been
That's
too
who I was
long awaited,
thinking.
so let's do it.
I thought it was about to be a Burrow pick, and I'm like, oh man, here we go. Three great receivers. Defense is pretty solid.
but
Like,
yeah, Justin Herbert. I feel like that this is the year for him. It's all a
that
matter of.
should be.
Here's the thing: if you want Justin Herbert to win it, one thing has to happen. Patrick Mahomes has to have a down year, and I don't see that. So long as Patrick Mahomes is in this AFC West spotlight, Justin Herbert will forever be in his shadow.
Yeah, but you can still get MVP and have Mahomes there, and that. I mean, you're right. You're 100% right. You are 100% right. But I feel like they're loaded up enough for him to actually get it this year, and I feel like if he don't actually get, I feel like he should be in the top 5 on that. I feel like he's fully confident. He got the receivers for it. He just drafted another receiver. The offensive line looks a lot better. Slater's coming back to help him out on the offensive line. You already know what he got in the running back position, who's basically a slot receiver himself. I'm very high, and I might be jinxing it because they've been the team itself hasn't been good, but Herbo, he been keeping that team on float, and now he got more weapons. I feel like the defense is a lot better. So let's do it. Chris says T. Higgins is going to look good with the Jaguars next year. Jaguars already got like a ton of wide receivers right now. He also said Lamar did win MVP with Lamar running. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. It's very, very true. So we could definitely do that. All right, let's get to the coach of the year. Juan, who you have at coach of the year this year?
I'll keep it quick. Keep it real quick. Dan Campbell turning this team around. I think hot take they'll be either the second or the first seed in the playoffs by the end of the year.
All right, Darren, what do you think?
It really depends on whether or not they can do something with the team that they have. I don't really see it happening, but there is still a shot with that division the way it is. D'Amico Ryans can win it if the Texans make it to the playoffs.
I like it. Thinking outside the box.
That's what I'm because you got to think D'Amico Ryans, if he's able to bring that team to where it is to a playoff spot, not a win, but at least a playoff appearance. That right there, that shows the growth and the ability of that first year head coach. So
definitely. I'm gonna take my homer pick here, and I'm gonna take my coach. Mainly because it's hard to go back to a Super Bowl, and I'm not saying we are, but to have a good team back to back where you lost so much, and I know we gained a lot during the offseason, but we were working with a lot of rookies and working with a lot of not rookies, but young players, and working with a lot of young players, especially at certain spots, you have to be able to develop them and make them a good team or a good player in it. Our middle linebackers are young, our defensive tackles. You got 2 young safeties, and especially on defense. Offensively, we got a couple of running backs, haven't been on a team. So I think that if we can kind of stay afloat from last, and I'm not saying it's a Super Bowl or even go. I think that if Nick Sirianni does what he did last year and can get back to that spot, I think we're going to be in good hands. And I think that he deserved it. I mean, I feel like he should have got it last year. No offense to last year's coach of the year, but I think he should have got it last year just from the standpoint of how good the team was altogether and how the team gelled. But I take Sirianni, man. I really do think he's a coach that not a lot of people talking about enough. So. All right, man. Let's get to our last few topics. So, hot takes Thursday. That was Saturdays now. So we're gonna rebrand it. We're gonna call it Sizzling Take Saturday. And I want to hear y'all sizzling takes for this week, man. I want to hear those sizzling takes for this week. So, what we got, guys? Let's hear some sizzling takes. Let's start with you, Juan. What you got?
Well, before we do, I just want to list out, since it's going to happen tomorrow, my pick for Saturday night's Sunday Night Football game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. We'll be taking, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, wearing the man that just got paid. An offensive lineman got his bag, and we need to acknowledge that regardless of what team he plays for, because Zach Martin's a true talent in his league. Can't tell me that much. That's one. And then with regards to hot takes, ooh man, what to do, what to say, what to pick. I'm too excited for everything that's going on. So I'm gonna only make one sizzling take for my team, the New York Jets. Not only will they beat the Buffalo Bills, but Josh Allen will throw 2 interceptions. One will result in a pick 6, and that will be thrown to the potential defensive player of the year candidate, Sauce Gardner.
Okay. I guess that's what we're going with here today. So mine's a little more simple than that. Bears are going to blow out the Packers by 14. And Justin Fields is going to account for 400 total yards of offense, 150 being rushing.
Dang.
I'm going to go with it like that. That's the simplest I can get for you.
Oh, man. You know what?
I don't trust that. I don't trust the Green Bay's offense. I trust their defense a little bit more, but I like the weapons that the Bears have. So it is what it is. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Like he gotta do better than this.
Fine. I can't do better. I can do better. Let me just.
It's already a bad pick that you think the Cowboys are going to win.
Bro, you do your hot take while I try to think of it.
All right. So my hot take. Hear me out. And my fellow co-host of the RPO Ball podcast is gonna love this. But despite everything I said today, I said a lot. Despite everything I said today, best record in the AFC, the Dolphins. Tua gonna complete a full season injury list. No injuries. First season being able to do this. He's gonna have an injury-less year. Gonna take that MVP from my boy Herbo, even though I just said he's gonna get the MVP. And the only reason I didn't say he wasn't gonna get the MVP because my boy Tua always gets injured. So that's gonna be my hot take. MVP going to Tua, and they're gonna have the best AFC record. And I know, Juan, you're gonna hate that. I'm gonna say that.
I already do.
Go ahead, Juan.
I'm gonna do that because I need to give a better take, apparently. So I'm gonna go with the Cardinals in Washington. I'm gonna say Sam Howell, who's been touted as this like rejuvenation effort for Washington, is gonna ball out. This is a Cardinals a defense that is putrid, to say the least. I don't care if you have Buda Baker. That is a disgruntled Buda Baker in the background. Sam Howell is gonna eat on week 1. I'm calling it 3 passing touchdowns, and to honor Coach Braxton here, 350. 350 in the air. Sam Howell will do.
Take that 350. Take that 350. I love it. I love it. Listen,
I got a question, y'all.
I like
Really
it.
quickly before I head on out here. Does that Marquise Brown trade now look really bad on his part, wanting out? Because he wanted out of us because he wasn't getting the touches, but now he's in the Cardinals with whatever that is over there.
Have you seen the practice video of him? Of how he's like running this post route, and he's first off slow off the get up, can't make the cut right. He's slow off the cut, and then drops the ball. Marquise Brown, what are you doing? What's happening with you, Hollywood?
He should have just stayed with his homie Lamar, but it is what it is.
That's what happens when you name yourself Hollywood.
All righty.
I like Chris's take. He says the Niners are going to miss the playoffs. I would love to see that just because they've been talking all offseason. So
the quarterback get hurt again, then yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Like,
I love Purdy. I just want to wish him the best of luck. You're Mr. Irrelevant, man, and you're already dominating the league. I love those kind of storylines.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny he was Mr. Irrelevant because maybe like 2.5 years before that, he was deemed as a first-round pick. So, before he was drafted. So, me and Ray was not completely surprised that he was a competent quarterback. Still don't think he's the best quarterback. But I agree. Good luck to him. I hope that he does well. But we'll see. I mean, that Niners defense still looks pretty good. Speaking of defenses, we just talked about the Cardinals. Buda Baker wanted out of there. So, yeah, do you think he's going to want out after week 1? I mean, if you're going to get that blow that Juan is predicting.
He wants out now. Why would
he wants out before, he wants out now, he wants out later. Like,
he gonna see that L on his calendar. He gonna be like, yeah, it's time.
All right, Chris, you ain't have to do that to him because that's just a personal thing right there. Oh,
that's hard. That's hard, Chris. That's hard. But before we get off real quick, any takes on tomorrow's games? Anything we want to talk about? I know we already did our game picks. Any quick little tidbits for tomorrow?
Ravens will only win by 3 because the Texans are going to put up a hell of a fight.
Ooh, okay.
The Eagles are going to be extra motivated tomorrow because you are going to be honoring the man that both you won a Super Bowl against and lost a Super Bowl against, because they're honoring Tom Brady in New England tomorrow. So I better see a blowout by the Eagles against this Patriots team.
I wish Darius
Tom Brady there.
I wish Darius was in this chat right now because me and him kind of got a little heated a little bit about week 1. I think he's a little. He's starting to become like a Cowboys fan. He's getting a little delusional.
Darius has always been Delulu. People, come on now. He's always been a little Delulu. Every time he's always yelling out a new man though. We went from Tom, we went to the Stidham season, we went to Mac Jones.
You forgot
Cam.
Even had you forgot Cam.
Oh, yeah, the Cam.
Oh,
Cam.
Yes, again. Real Delulu. Always yelling out a new man. That's crazy.
Good times. Darius, we miss you, man. We got to get you back on this podcast. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. We do appreciate everybody getting on to us today. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Sundays. I am definitely ready to see how the season goes, man. It's going to be a good one. I love the fact that every year there's a new team in the playoffs and a team that we don't expect. So I'm super excited about it. We already got high school football going on, college football going on. The trifecta is coming tomorrow. It already started Thursday, but in full force tomorrow, Sunday, with all the NFL teams. So I hope you guys enjoy it, man. Enjoy your college football Saturday because there's a lot of good games going on today. That it's going to be fun to watch. Darren, good luck with your team. Hope you guys do very well. Juan, stop wearing that Cowboys jersey.
Game at 1, people. Game at 1.
Well, I have a quick little dump on your little Tua for MVP theory. No, Teron Armstead just got rolled out tomorrow versus the Jets. So, how do you like that options, baby?
Hey, I didn't say they're going to be undefeated. I just said they're going to. So, Well, I mean that is a big blow to them, and we'll definitely see. But I'm kind of upset that Darren got off a little early because I wanted to
Coach got to
give
coach.
him his flowers. As would you say?
Coach got to coach. Coach has. All right. Anyway,
I'm sorry. What did you say, Juan?
Saying that coach got to coach. Yeah, because he has a game today. Yep. Oh yeah. Okay. No, so yeah. No, I said.
What you say, Juan?
I said coach got to coach because he has a game today.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I want to me. I always like to show off something at the end of this. So I want the viewers to understand how much of a fan my man is.
This is
just to kick off the season.
This is just like Avery and his.
I mean,
Matt Ryan ramble every time we end the show, man. Like it's just a running joke every time.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna put up this right here, our honorary Eagles fan. So, Coach, if you wanna bandwagon, you already got the shirt. Wifey's already Eagles fan. You might as well just 2 years in a row, maybe. Come on, man. So, but that's gonna do it for us today, guys. I'm Jerome Jones. That's the one and only. Take off that jersey.
I got nothing underneath it. I'm not going shirtless.
Take that jersey off. Oh man, but that's gonna do it today, guys. Man, we love you guys. Make sure you go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter on Inside the Hatches. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Know that we're every time we get on, everything like that. What are you doing, Juan? What are you doing?
Counting all the things that we have to put out here.
Oh yeah. Like, what are you doing? And make sure you check us out all our social media, especially on TikTok. We're doing some great stuff on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, viewing players. We're going to be covering a lot of football, all that stuff like that. So make sure you go in there. If you love football, this is a space to be. So I'm Jerome Jones. Juan right there. We out. See you next time. Hopefully Avery be on because I was messing up early.
And just in honor of Avery, Matt Ryan. If your entire career, if you were to learn not to just hold on to the ball this whole time, man, the fact of the matter is you could have won.
Yeah, man, like, we need to start getting
held on to the ball
thing,
in a way that it wouldn't get
does.
stuck
You
up all the time.
just
You probably would have still been in the league.
patting the ball thing. It's like really weird. So it's weird, like how so fascinating on the patting the ball thing. Like he just keeps talking about it. I don't understand. Like it just keeps going. Like
Yeah, I know.
You just keep talking about it.
Oh man.